Rob, Kermit, you're both coming to Broadway. This is so exciting. Rob, you have brought your magic all over the world, and now Broadway. Why was this the next stage that you wanted to perform on?
Well, Broadway is the world stage. And I wanted to bring magic and put it shoulder to shoulder with things like theater and dance and art and bring my brand of magic to Broadway. Broadway inspired me, just like Kermit inspired me. And ever since I was a kid, I would love to go to the theater, the touring shows, the Broadway shows my parents would take me to. I still have boxes of every playbill from every show I've ever seen. I would never throw them away from being, from when I was a kid. And it's always been my dream to perform my magic on Broadway.
Kermit, tell me, how did this partnership with Rob happen, and what did he say to convince you to come to Broadway with him?
Well, Rob's reputation for making incredible magic precedes him, and when he reached out and invited the Muppets to join him on stage, we were all flattered. We really were. I don't know if I told you that, but we were all flattered.
Well, I'm honored. Thanks, Kermit.
He promised there'd be lots of fun, a few surprises, and maybe just a tad less danger than some of our usual on-stage acts. So we couldn't resist. It's not every day that you get to work with a magician of Rob's talent, and who could say no to a bit of Broadway magic, huh?
Absolutely. And then Rob, everyone loves the Muppets. I've loved them my entire life, loved by generations. Where did this idea to team up with the Muppets to bring your magic to Broadway come from?
Well, you can't tell my story about magic without starting with the Muppets. My heroes growing up were not other magicians. They were Walt Disney and Jim Henson, real wizards who create magic. And so for me, it was just common sense, an idea, would they want to come along? Because my show on Broadway is very personal. It's not just trick, trick, trick. It's showing the audience what magic is to me, how I experience magic. So it's a very vulnerable, personal place. And we started my childhood, so it made sense to invite these guys. And they're kind of like magic. They live in this place between imagination and creativity and wonder. So it's a perfect fit to have Muppets with magic.
I love that. Kermit, you've traveled the world, been in so many TV shows and films, but now you're on your Broadway, bringing Broadway magic to Broadway, and now for the first time you're going to have your headshot in a playbill. And Rob, the same for you. What does that mean for the two of you?
Well, for me, it's an honor. I've been lucky enough to hop around the world and try all sorts of things, but being in a Broadway playbill it's really special. There's just something magical about live theater, especially with a little extra magic from Rob Lake.
Yeah, pretty Rob.
And for me, it gets real right now. This whole experience has been like a dream. It's kind of half awake at my real experiences. But knowing that I'm going to be in a playbill, that I would spend hours and hours studying and reading every single word of every bio as a kid, and now I get to do that, it really means a lot. And it actually just kind of feels very real at this moment.
I love that. Rob, tell me, you mentioned a little bit that you were inspired by Walt Disney, but when did you start training in magic and illusion, and how did your career move up to now?
So before I found magic, I was into puppets, I was into theater, and then when I was 10 years old, I saw a magic show, and I knew that's my version of art. That's my entertainment. That's my path. And at 10 years old, I saw this massive show. It had 30 or 40 dancers and appearing vehicles. It was a big show, and the theatricality and the scale really inspired me. And it was very unusual looking back now that as a 10-year-old kid, it was like I had this divine programming downloaded into me saying, here's your goal, here's your path, here's your life. And I just dove in.
I love that. Kermit, Rob is known for these amazing feats with magic. Are there anything that you've enjoyed in your rehearsals together that you're looking forward to audiences seeing without giving anything away?
Yeah, well, that's the trick here, is not to spoil anything. But I can say, I've seen the whole show in rehearsals, and I am personally partial to the illusions that we help out with, but like I said, I don't want to spoil any of the magic, but I can say I have no idea how he does it. It's truly magic.
Yeah, absolutely. And you both are no stranger to backstage life and performing. Have you guys mentally or physically gotten prepared to be in close quarters with all of the Muppets and everything, and what that's going to be like performing 8 times a week together?
It's exciting. That's where the fun happens. The show behind the show is really the magic, I'd say.
Yeah. And the truth is, the Muppets are always up for a little organized chaos. So close quarters backstage, it's actually pretty familiar.
And then speaking about doing 8 shows a week, it's a lot, like physically, emotionally, the whole thing. But when you're not going to be performing, I mean, for both of you, do you guys have plans of what you want to do around New York City? Anything you want to do outside the show? Kermit, are there ponds that you're looking to visit while you're in town?
Well, you know what? I'll probably. Well, I do plan to explore and relax a bit while I'm here in the city, and maybe find a nice quiet pond or two. But maybe I'll even put in a little extra banjo practice or catch up with some old friends.
I love that. Rob, what I'm really excited about this is I'm going to be bringing my 6-year-old niece with me when I come to see the show. It's going to be, I think, her second ever Broadway show, and I know for a fact it's her first magic show as well. What does that mean to you that with you and the Muppets, you're going to be exposing a whole bustling new generation to illusion and maybe for some of them, their first ever Broadway show, what that means to you and to the both of you?
Yeah, I have a 3 and 6-year-old niece too, and they're so excited, but I had to introduce them to magic, of course, but also to the Muppets. We grew up with the Muppets on TV and movies regularly, and there's a whole new generation who gets to experience them and meet them the way we wanted to see them.
As we wrap up, I just want to say, Kermit, could you do me a favor, turn to the camera, and can you tell kids watching at home, why is Broadway and why is theater magic?
Oh, sure, of course. Hi-ho, Kermit the Frog here. Theater is a place where anything can happen. You can laugh, you can sing, you can even see things that make you say, how'd they do that? It's where stories come to life and friends, old and new, can share a bit of joy together. So whether you're on stage or whether you're in the audience, just remember the magic of theater is really just the magic of having fun, using your imagination, and being together.
I love
How's
that.
that?
Well said.
Thank you.